One Zambia, one nation. Thank you for joining us on Zanis News. With the news, my name is Faith Katai. The headlines. Tanzania and Zambia border expansion project set to commence this year. Chitambo records the first case of cholera. Education curriculum validated. Plus, traditional leaders welcome government's sensitization on Children's Act. The news in detail. Works on the construction of a new modern one-stop border facility at Nakonde border post in Chinga province is set to commence this year. Two private developers have funded the border expansion project but are waiting for settlers to be compensated before the works can commence. This was revealed when Minister of Lands and Natural Resources Elijah Mchima met senior government officials at the District Commissioner's office in Nakonde yesterday. Details in the following report.
Nakonde District is one of Zambia's business centers, facilitating commerce. The district borders with Tunduma of the People's Republic of Tanzania and acts as an inlet and outlet of exports and imports. Government, through its cooperating partners, is in the process of modernizing infrastructure here, but unless the locals are fully compensated, the works will not commence. Lands and Natural Resources Minister Elijah Mchima learned about this development when he met senior government officials at the District Commissioner's office in Nakonde.
The people that are being displaced, the project affected persons, there are some that I think there are still issues with their compensation, and if those issues are not resolved quickly, it might derail the project because there are strict timelines within which the donors have said we have to utilize the funds available to develop the border and to do the expansion. So my request to your officer is probably through your office we can get intervention so that the project affected persons, whatever is owed to them is quickly settled and then they can be relocated and we can commence the works on the expansion of the border.
The minister said the matter will be addressed.
The infrastructure at the border, I'll discuss with the Honorable Mskotwani. Yes. And it's our idea of one border, one stop border, yes, everywhere.
As a result of the central business district being close to the border, the area is over-congested. This has propelled plans to relocate Nakonde CBD to a well-planned area.
Along Mbala Road, just after the junction, that's where we've planned it to be a town. That's where we are taking most of our activities, including the bus stop. It will go there. We want to take all the activities there because that area is well planned.
Wholeheartedly, government has embraced the relocation program.
It's to do with the LDF Land Development Fund. That money is meant to give to councils to open up areas in terms of electricity, roads, and water as well. Okay, it's not much, but we can give you not less than 2 million, 3 million, you can get.
Jane Simalumba Zanis in Nakonde.
Meanwhile, Mafinga Area Member of Parliament Robert Chabinga has called for quick remedial action at Bemba Bridge in Myombe area. Mr. Chabinga made the appeal to the Road Development Agency soon after assessing the situation at the bridge. Miriam Kumwenda has the details.
Year in, year out, the Bemba Bridge in Myombe area in Mafinga district of Chinga province has continued to be a challenge for the people in the area who are sometimes cut off from the rest of the district. Even this year, the situation is the same, causing the people of Myombe area to appeal to government to work on the bridge. We have been suffering since 2014 over this bridge. Let government hear us now. We are taking about 1 week or 2 weeks to cross this river. We find it difficult for our customers to reach on the other side of the river Even patients is the same situation. We appeal to government to come to our aid. The area MP, Robert Chinga, could not hide his disappointment.
When we have been talking about the Isoka Myombe Road, these are the realities. So I think I'm so, even as area member of parliament, I'm heartbroken. Very heartbroken because this is an issue that I have engaged every office that I could. Every office I've gone to anywhere. I've met the PIS infrastructure, RDA, everyone that is involved on this member bridge.
Mr. Chinga, who is also leader of the opposition, has since engaged RDA on the matter.
We can't even cross. We need to wait for the water levels to go down. And tomorrow we'll be launching the handing over the mortuaries at Myombe Hospital. I can't cross. We could have avoided this situation, Mr. Sinkonde. Remember, we wasted a lot of time in discussing negotiations, and really we can't have this. Right now, as I speak, there was a woman who had to give birth at the graveyard because they couldn't cross the lady. And it was, you can imagine on a maternal situation. I'm not really happy, and the situation is really dicey.
I'll see to come and check to see what we can do. Miriam Kumwenda reporting for Zanis in Myombe area, Mafinga district.
Mongu Mayor Nyambe Muyumbana is impressed with the rehabilitation works that are currently underway at the Mongu Airport in Western Province. Government has allocated 6.6 million kwacha for the rehabilitation of the airport. Here is a report.
A significant rehabilitation project is in full swing at the Mongu Airport in Mongu district of Western Province. Government, under the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, has allocated a total amount of 6.6 million kwacha to the airport for this project. The rehabilitation works started in October 2023 and are expected to complete by February 2024. I spoke with the site engineer, Joyce Chinga.
The project is rehabilitation of Mongu Airport, which includes the perimeter fencing, renovation of the terminal building, control tower, and the fire and rescue. So for the renovations, the works included are the painting, the ceiling, the tiling. Also, there are some variations that have been included, such as aluminium works. For the perimeter fencing, we're also having graveling works.
Bangweta Matakala is the acting airport manager.
The corporation is also thinking that way, that maybe immediately after this, the completion of the rehabilitation, even new furniture will be delivered to Mongu Airport. That's what we propose. This is what we indicated to management to say it will look nice when Mongu Airport, if it will also be furnished with.
In addition to physical upgrades, the rehabilitation includes the installation of advanced baggage handling facilities. I spoke with Mongu Mayor Nyambe Muyumbana, who shed light on the broader significance of this rehabilitation effort.
You know that the new Dawn government came into power on the premise of developing all the areas of the country. So the project that is here, we are talking about a 6.6 million kwacha that has been set aside or injected into this particular project. And so as a local leader, we get concerned when there are such projects, as we are the eyes of the president. And so that's why we are here today. And I want to say that we are happy with what we found. The contractor is on course within the work schedule. Of course, we've been briefed that there have been some variations, and that's what will make the project push a bit to about March.
A well-functioning airport not only facilitates tourism, but also supports trade and business activities, contributing to the overall development of Mongu and Western Province. Makao Kayombo, Zanis, Western Province.
Northwestern Province Permanent Secretary Grandson Katambi has advised engineers at the Road Development Agency and Solwezi Municipal Council to stop politicking and work together to serve the people in the region. Speaking during the official opening of a one-day technical capacity building training workshop on roads and bridges maintenance, Kaneon Katambi called on both the council and RDA to change the mindset and provide best roads for the local people. Details in this report by Chaibo Nkoma.
These are local engineers from the 11 districts of Northwestern Province undergoing a technical capacity building training on roads and bridges maintenance.
Talk about maintenance of paved roads. Maintenance of paved roads can either be routine or of a periodic nature. So routine maintenance, these are routine general repairs carried out on a road, sometimes carried out before periodic maintenance is done. General repairs must be carried out in good time to prevent further deterioration of the road.
Provincial Permanent Secretary Kanil Grandson Katambi is guest of honor.
Kazomba people are still got problems with the feeder roads. The roads are muddy. But we have got equipment. We have got people with the brains like ourselves. You guys are highly trained. Stop politicking. If you were cadre in the previous government, stop it. And if you're a cadre in UPND, stop exercising that cadreism. Let us work for the people of Northwestern Province.
The Permanent Secretary wants the local authority and the Road Development Agency, RDA, to work together to improve the road network both in urban and peri-urban areas.
The President has said, I'm coming from Lusaka, that we cannot continue working in isolation. You people here, ladies and gentlemen, with a lot of respect, your aim is one, is to serve the people of Northwestern Province. So then one expects you, first of all, before you get to the books, qualification and what you're supposed to do, is to establish that good working relationship amongst yourselves. So that if you cannot do, you should be able, somebody from RDA should be freely get to the council and ask for some equipment to use.
The training also includes a skill in road maintenance of potholes. Reporting for Zanis News, I'm Chaibo Nkoma in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
More stories to come after the break. Stay tuned.
Bushe cholera chinshi. Cholera bulwele bwa kupolomia. Omuntu ukwete cholera alapolomia sana eyo n'okuluka. Obusali buba ubwa menshi n'okubutuluka ngomo basukire omupunga. Omulwele wa cholera takwata menshi mu mubiri pamulandu wa kuluka ero n'okupolomia. Omulwele wa cholera kuti afa munsa 12 na nguntile 12 hours nga taperwa omuti uwafikapo. Usho omuntu kuti akwata shani cholera. Okunwa menshi ayabula okuwamya nango ayafiko. Okulya ifya kulya n'emino iyalamba nango mufipe ifya abula okusamfya n'amenshi ayasuma. Okulya ifya kulya ifyo basunga okwabula okufimbapo ifya kutira na balunshi baleikalapo. Okulya ifya kulya ifya shelepo ifya talala ifya kutira tabafisungire bwino nakalya iyo. Okulya ifya kulya ifyo bashitisha mu misebo. Okulya ifisabo elyo n'omusalo ifya abula okusamfya. Kuti twaichingirira shani ku bulwele bwa cholera. Wamyeni amenshi yakunwa okupitira mu kuipika nango okubika mu chlorine. Sambeni kuminwa na sopo ilo na amenshi ayasuma panuma ya kubonfye chimbusu. Kafyeniko ifya kulya ilyo tamulalia. Fimbeni pa fya kulya fyonse pakuti balunshi tabale ikalapo. Mwilalia ifya kulya fisangwa mu misebo. Bonfyeni chimbusu inshita yonse. Mwila bonfya ifikunkubiti nangu ifupepala pakuposa ubusali. Shiningisha inokutila ubusali bonse bwaposwa mu chimbusu. Sungeni chimbusu ichabusaka n'okufimbapo inshita yonse. Iyimbira abamireterako chipa ni chimona pabumi.
Welcome back. You are still watching Zanis News. In health news, Chitambo district of Central Province has recorded the first confirmed case of cholera. District Commissioner Evans Chola has confirmed the development to Zanis in an interview and says the case involves a male adult of Ruben area in Luombwa ward. Mr. Chola says the patient has no recent history of traveling out of the district and added that health authorities suspect that he could have contracted the disease from water. Ministry of Education Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Joe Kamoko, has disclosed that the revised school curriculum has been validated and awaiting cabinet approval before implementation. Mr. Kamoko says the revised school curriculum, once approved, will address some of the historic teething problems that have failed to align the country's developmental goals. He said this in Chirundu district after an inspection of the ongoing construction works of the early childhood education hub in Kayuni area in the outskirts of the district. More in this report.
In order to enhance skilled labor capable of accelerating Zambia's long-term Vision 2030, which aims at making the country a prosperous middle-income nation, the Ministry of Education embarked on a broad-based curriculum reforms. These curriculum reforms are seen as a panacea to the current production of low-quality graduates incapable of accelerating social and economic development, as outlined in the Vision 2030. With the reforms already validated and just waiting cabinet approval, the government is confident of changing the narrative of an education system that is famed for producing half-baked graduates.
I'm sure this year we have now validated the curriculum. We'll soon be sharing it once cabinet gives us approval, so that we make it familiar to the teachers, the managers, the devs, the PO, the community. And also it will go for a lot of money because we are calling for things to be done differently. We don't want a school which produces learners who speak English but they are useless at home. They can't use their hands. They have no skills after school. They commit suicide. They drink beer every day.
To remedy the situation, the government has since identified early childhood education as critical foundation in production of quality graduates competent in contributing meaningfully to national development.
I hope early childhood investment will change the story in a primary school. Because we are getting people into primary who can't read. They get to secondary, they are worse. They get to college, we are saying we are half-baked graduates. It starts with a bad starting point. So if early childhood will be done right, we can do more than one house tomorrow, another one in future, maybe a few 10 houses, waterborne. I think we're going the right way. The president doesn't want our pit that shit. So we must be asking each other, how soon do we make the whole school waterborne? The whole school. If there's a clinic nearby, how do you make it waterborne?
As for Chirundu District Administration, value for money remains its guiding principle, as evident by the formation of a joint monitoring evaluation team that is tasked to inspect the ongoing construction of public infrastructure in the district.
We are grateful that the council, the district administration, the office, the DHO's office, there is the one monitoring team that keeps on visiting the site time and again. Then we also have the infrastructure officer and also the district buildings officer. There is also all the time on site. And if there are any challenges, it's quick to bring to our attention for us to consider challenges that even when we see something is wrong, yes, we come in and say this is wrong, and we ask the contractor to attend to that. So we are on course in terms of monitoring and the monitoring team.
Zanis reports in Chirundu District, Southern Province.
An Arab contractors company based in Egypt has pledged to support Chinga Province with the implementation of its developmental agenda. Company senior vice chairperson made the pledge when he met Chinga Province Minister Henry Sikazwe, who is leading a Zambian delegation at the Zambia-Egyptian Day in Egypt. Pamela Inambao reports from Egypt that Mr. Sikazwe asserted the need for the partnership in order to develop the province.
in a continuation of the ongoing efforts and the distinguished relations between the Egyptian African Business Association and the Embassy of Zambia in Egypt, a delegation from Chinga province is in Cairo, Egypt, to hold various meetings aimed at contributing to the socio-economic development of Chinga province. The delegation, led by the provincial minister Henry Skazwe, first held a meeting with the Arab Contractors, which is one of the largest construction companies whose head office is in Cairo, Egypt.
We are here to learn from you and see how best we can work together in terms of infrastructure. When it comes to road network, we have seen what we have done here. Also, the buildings. We hope that at the end of the day, we'll come up somewhere where we are going to agree and say, yes, we can work together as Chinga and the Arab contractors.
The Arab Contractors Senior Vice Chairman assured the team from Chinga province of more support once logistics are put in place.
We are open to any kind of cooperation, PPP, ABC plus F, ABC, several models about all the collaboration way. We need to delegate a delegation from the Arab contractor to visit country.
They are also happy that the team found a time to specifically visit to lobby for support.
That we are looking forward a future opportunity with the different fields in Zambia to know more project and study with our brothers the project list that they have and explain how we can help the Zambian government to develop and improve as we did here in Egypt.
Both Chinga province in Tuareg, together with the Arab contractors, visited the two bridges, which were constructed in 18 and 9 months respectively, constructed by the Arab contractors. Pamela Inamba reporting for Zanis in New Cairo, Egypt.
Traditional leaders in Mongu district of Southern Province have welcomed the move by the government to embark on community sensitization on the Child's Act number 12 of 2022, which seeks to strengthen child protection and enhance children's rights. Headman Hamwende Ruyamba says the gesture has come at the right time as most parents were still ignorant of the rights of their children, which resulted in abusing them. Mongu District Commissioner Mwanza Malambo is happy with the overwhelming response from the community towards the ongoing sensitization exercise.
24th August 2022 will go down in history as a day when the Children's Code Act was enacted into law by the New Dawn government. But most people in rural areas are still ignorant about the new law that seeks to strengthen children's rights. This has compelled the government to embark on community sensitizations in Mongu district.
This is sensitization of our people regarding the rights of the child. This is a very, very fundamental issue. A child has the right to education. The child has the right to health, to good living, to protection. And the child, it's a high time is removed from child labor. A child should be brought up in a manner that tomorrow will be a responsible citizen. This issue is still seriously hanging in Mongu because most of the parents, they have not realized that a child, the growth of a child, both physically and mentally, starts in a home. I'm certain and I'm really humbled for the participation of us senior headmen, as well as the other headmen in the other organizations. And the response, overwhelming response to our chiefs.
The chiefdoms has become our entry point because the protection of every child begins from the home.
The move by the government to raise awareness on the Children's Act number 12 of 2022 has excited parents in Mongu district.
imwana ndiza kati naye yagabo hino mwana onanganyirwa kuti onatu pembege ali minganda loba kwamba kuti eyintwale ndi mwakeretera badisi itakatale kuti
baroga bazimana na kubora kulindiswe twanula mulamba aswego tulazimana bamadala kuti tutswangane nanto omwe.
Frederick Macha for Zanis News in Monze District, Southern Province.
Still on issues of children, the United Church of Zambia, UCZ, has called on parents to be taking their boy children to church in order to build and instill good values and morals in them for their benefit and that of the society. UCZ Boys Brigade National President Maxwell Sichola says boys are resorting to alcohol and drug abuse because of poor moral foundation. Mr. Sichola was speaking during the enrollment and rededication of boys and officers to the Boys Brigade at the UCZ Trinity Congregation in Lusaka. Sarah Miti attended the ceremony and brought us this report.
Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to them." Today, 70 boys have been dedicated and enrolled to the United Church of Zambia UCZ Boys Brigade Youth Organization at Lusaka's UCZ Trinity Congregation to serve God and be guided on the Christian principles of obedience, reverence, discipline, and self-respect, among others. The Boys Brigade leadership have expressed worry at the increased numbers of young boys engaging in wrong vices in society and have called on parents to help their children by building them in the Christian faith and values.
I'd like to appeal once again to the parents and guardians of our children to seriously consider your parents joining the Boys Brigade. Our society in these days is very, very tempting. Our children are exposed to social media, they read a lot on their cell phones and the television. They see all the negative things. The only way to counter that is to ensure that programs such as this are supported and all our kids are given an opportunity to be exposed to discipline, exposed to good manners, and that way we will be contributing to bring them up as responsible citizens of our country.
Minister in charge of the Trinity Congregation, Reverend Mokles Munyeka, also highlighted the importance of building a befitting house for God.
God is a landlord. God is not to be a tenant, neither should his part. If he is a landlord, then he deserves a house which can ascribe his greatness, his glory, and his status. Hallelujah. I know here we have many landlords. I think they are not equal to tenants. Hallelujah. And if God is the landlord, he must not be a strict God. He must not be, let me not say, strict king, because God is adult. Hallelujah. In our African traditions, there are some people who venerate and worship ancestral spirits. And those people who worship the ancestral spirits, they make sure that they provide those spirits with shelter. And those shelters, we call them shrines. And those shrines have to be kept well. Hallelujah. Befitting those spirits. And if they don't keep those shrines well, then those spirits invoke calamity and trouble on those people. Hallelujah. I know what I'm speaking about. Those who worship me ancestral spirits. So the same with God. We know God is a spirit. God is not flesh. God is not tangible we can touch. So he's a spirit. Also, he wants his right. Hallelujah. To be equal to himself.
70 boys and 17 officers have been enrolled, while 3 patrons were confirmed. Sarah Miti for Zanis in Lusaka.
And that item concludes our news. But before we go, we take a look at the stories that made headlines. Tanzania and Zambia border expansion project set to commence this year. Chitambo records the first case of cholera. Education curriculum validated, plus traditional leaders welcome government's sensitization on Children's Act. That's all we packaged for you on Zanis News. This has been Faith Katai on behalf of the entire Zanis production team. Remember, cholera is real and prevention is key. Stay blessed.